Welcome to this presentation on the role of mobile technology in enhancing teachers' pedagogical content knowledge. This presentation is based on the work of Zahra, who is a doctoral candidate at Bangor University. Her supervisors are Dr. Tanya Hathaway, the primary supervisor, and Dr. Jessica Clapham, the secondary supervisor. This slide introduces Zahra, Tanya and Jessica, and Zahra here is pictured at Bangor University in North Wales. She is originally from Iran. Here we present our short authors' biographies, and you may wish to pause this presentation to read these. Zahra has a wealth of experience in English language teaching. She is in her writing up year at Bangor University, and she has completed a pre-doctoral course in English language teaching at Education First College, the University of Cambridge. Zahra's specific interests are mobile assisted teaching, teacher educational knowledge and pedagogical content knowledge. Her primary supervisor, Dr. Tanya Hathaway, is currently a senior lecturer in digital education at Arden University, and she was previously the head of the Centre for the Enhancement of Learning and Teaching at Bangor University. She is a senior fellow of the Higher Education Academy. And Dr. Jessica Clapham is the Programme Director for the Professional Doctorate in English Language Education and the MA TESOL at the University of Wales, Trinity St David. In this presentation, we will follow the structure of an academic article, providing some background to the study, the literature review, the study itself, the research questions, and the methodology, the results from the qualitative element of this study, discussion, implications, and suggestions for further research. This study is focused on WhatsApp and its use as an instructional tool for teaching. The study explores the perceptions of EFL teachers in using technology during their teaching process and why they are interested in technology and why they may not wish to use this. And it looks specifically at teachers' reasoning about the use of technology in teaching in the EFL context. It seeks to understand whether there are any differences in terms of gender in respondents in using technology during the teaching process, and what kinds of gender influences were relevant in teaching. Before we look at the specific research questions, a literature review was undertaken to see the existing research in this field. So Zahra had an aim based on her own experience, plus she chose to look at the literature and see where the research gap was. She reviewed a wide range of articles in a number of journals, and some of these include Computer and Human Behaviour, Computer and Education, and the British Journal of Educational Technology. Out of this review, there was a focus on the different types of knowledge or the constructs of teachers' knowledge as described in previous literature. And these are some of the main studies that provided input at this literature review stage and guided the development of the research objectives and the research questions. So some authors, there's a distinction. Schulman first introduced the concept of pedagogical content knowledge, and later it was superseded by the TPAC model. And this study, Zahra's study, looks at breaking down the components of knowledge as they are evinced in research, and in particular studying pedagogical content knowledge and its relationship between content knowledge and technical knowledge. So the purpose of this study, the broad objectives here, are to investigate the use of mobile technology and specifically the software application WhatsApp to enhance teachers' pedagogical content knowledge, and to investigate the moderating role of teachers' gender and age on the relationship between technology usage and PCK, to explore teachers' technological knowledge and its mediating role between technology usage and pedagogical content knowledge, and to explore the perceptions of English as foreign language teachers about the affordances and constraints surrounding the use of WhatsApp in a mobile-assisted EFL teaching. So these were the broad objectives of the study, and in this element that is being presented, it's objectives 3 and 4, which will be presented as they relate to the qualitative element. So the research objectives 3 and 4 were matched by the following research questions, and this guided the qualitative element. What are in-service EFL teachers' perceptions of mobile-assisted teaching? And what are the WhatsApp-related features that support the teaching process? The methodology for this study was a convergent mixed methods research design. There were qualitative and quantitative components, and data were collected simultaneously. Data collection of the qualitative element began in June 2022, and it's only this element that is reported in this presentation. And the research tool was a semi-structured interview protocol. The research was conducted in Iran with teachers from EFL centres located in different suburbs of Tehran. The sampling strategy was self-selection sampling. The teachers had already completed an online questionnaire which contained a Likert scale component looking at their experiences of teaching and attitudes towards teaching with technology. At the end of that questionnaire, they were asked whether they would be willing to participate in an interview. 14 interviewees requested further information, and of those 14, all 14 gave consent to be interviewed for the study. The data were analysed thematically to look at the broad trends in the experiences of teachers of EFL in Iran. The thematic analysis involved an inductive open coding approach. The transcripts, which were the verbatim record of the interviews, were manually coded. And this meant going through the printed out transcripts and looking for the codes as related to the developing meaning units. An inductive coding approach was chosen, although this did involve elements a hybrid approach, going back and forth between the data and the conceptual and theoretical framework based on pedagogical content knowledge, in some cases to guide the coding, but in other cases the approach was to let the themes emerge and to be true to the participants' utterances. And so this looked at the identification of similar meanings. Once the meaning units had been created, the categorization process occurred. And this was to develop homogeneous groupings of meaning units into first sub-themes and then themes. And again, this is an iterative process. So there is a to and fro between developing themes and sub-themes and seeing what sits within a theme and is within the boundaries of a sub-theme, and how the boundaries of each theme relate to each other. And the themes relate to overall concepts or ways of thinking about the teaching of English as a foreign language using WhatsApp. And within the themes we have compilation and the development of some categories, and again this iterative process of rereading to reach a final outcome of themes. The results of this study were 6 themes, and in addition, a series of sub-themes. Theme 1 was the perceived online teaching quality, and this had 2 sub-themes: the benefits that were becoming apparent of online teaching, and the sub-theme, the effectiveness of online teaching quality. Theme 2, the challenges of online teaching. Sub-theme, technology-induced isolation, and that related to the teachers' perceptions of their students and also themselves. The sub-theme, the constraints to teachers' practice and engaging students with using online teaching. Theme 3, the importance of teachers' characteristics in online teaching. And we could think about that in relation to perceived the quality of online teaching. The sub-theme, the influence of age on teaching capabilities, which was also being investigated in the quantitative element of the study. And another sub-theme, the influence of English teachers' gender during online teaching. Again, this is one of the independent variables being investigated in the quantitative element of the research. Theme 4 were the affordances of online teaching. And the sub-theme, interaction engages students' motivation in online teaching. And those would be the interactive elements that one can use within a mobile application. The sub-theme, the benefits of online teaching that were recognised and came out in the themes. Theme 5, online teaching components. Timely and accessible feedback was enabled by teaching online, and the different features of online teaching that could be used in the technology were recognised. Theme 6, the quality of applied technological knowledge. The sub-theme was the length and variety of teaching experiences of teaching with technology had a relationship to what teachers felt about quality teaching. And another sub-theme, being more knowledgeable, or in other words, having a more sophisticated awareness about technology usage in teaching and how to achieve this. So 6 themes here, which can be you can explore further in detail in the latest publication. So using technology during teaching, including many different technology applications, one of those being WhatsApp, can enhance teachers' knowledge. So teachers, when challenged to use technology, they begin to develop an awareness of the features, they begin to develop mastery and competence, and this impacts the way in which they can think about using teaching technology in teaching. So there's, as Schulman would say, there's a growth in knowledge, and once this is applied to teaching particular aspects of English language, we see the transformation into pedagogical content knowledge. Interviewee 7 reports that without technology, in my view, teaching English, specifically during online teaching, would be a waste of time, because we should promote our knowledge. For this purpose, many applications, such as podcasts and online dictionaries, can be downloaded on your smart mobile phone and can use it whenever you need. Again, for instance, for accessing materials available on the internet to support teaching, one of the interviews explained that I can adapt teaching materials and methods when I'm connected to the internet. You can see the website you go to on YouTube, for example. Find videos of teaching sessions from other teachers that are quite relevant to your work. You can find new materials that you can use in your classrooms. They might be useful for your students. You can change every teaching material or technique you have taught so far. And this tells us something about this interviewee particular sees the affordances in using technology. And being familiar with technology can be considered as one of the critical points during online teaching. And this, which is being explored also in our quantitative resource, has a relationship to gender and age and experience. In this research, the participants overall identified familiarity with the technology as a significant factor in increasing the quality of online teaching. I think the age of teachers has got an important role in using online teaching. It has got a very important role in both using the technology and their teaching quality. They should be familiar with technology to deliver online teaching. Younger teachers can use applications better than middle-aged teachers. Younger ones use online teaching effectively. We now move on to the discussion. Now, I'm not going to talk through every slide here. You can pause the recording and you can read these. I'll just pick up the main elements. From what the participants were saying, we can see that online teaching is viewed as being more innovative and attractive for teachers because of the use of technology. We see that, or we perceive that in these findings, that the use of technology leads to the enhancement of teachers' knowledge, in particular pedagogical content knowledge. And with the continued updating of teaching methods and technology, this impacts the quality of teaching. One of the findings of this study was that the poor internet connection, however, is a big challenge faced in teaching online. And that really effective and smooth e-learning needs a stable internet connection to be ensured for both teachers and students. And this had an impact on feeling isolated if one didn't have a connection. It also affects the delivery of teaching and being able to deliver quality teaching. And this has been shown in other studies. And Klimova 2021, in line with our study, found that older teachers tend to be less prepared and interested in running online language classes in comparison with younger teachers. Many software applications do now have the appropriate teaching features, and that can significantly impact students' learning process. We see software with recording facilities, which can be used to enhance the learning process and achieve the learning objectives. The multimodal availability in technology, using the screen, using audio, and being able to record and listen to recordings at home, can also support students in achieving learning objectives. WhatsApp in particular has the features that can affect the teaching process. However, the ability to use this and to perceive the affordances of teaching with WhatsApp can be related to teachers' experience. However, the existing literature recognises the critical role played by experienced teachers during online teaching. So there is something further to study here in the relationship between age versus experience. And literature already shows that experienced teachers could benefit from experience-appropriate pedagogical and content-related support for programmes for online teaching. In this study, gender in the context of online teaching was also considered in the interviews. And what we showed were the personal characteristics, in particular the teacher's gender, play a pivotal role in the increase in teaching quality. And this was particularly noticeable for the female participants in both their thoughts and in how they talked about their colleagues as well. And it was felt that the nurturing qualities of females are often aligned with teaching online, the ability to be empathetic, some of the communication styles. And this is similar to Marchiori et al. 2019. Therefore, having a variety of different online resources and tools can influence the effectiveness of online teaching. And teachers can benefit from technological advancements. So COVID-19 actually pushed teachers to develop their pedagogical content knowledge and their technical knowledge as well. The introduction of smart boards, virtual reality, applications, chat rooms can all, in a sense, force the development of teachers' knowledge. And having more experience means that teachers are more comfortable doing that and are able to become effectively more quickly. So there's a complex interaction there. At an and that's played out in the implications. So at the individual level, for particular teachers, there are certain learning points depending on which point in their career they are at, characteristics such as age and gender, and these can help us improve their pedagogical content knowledge and teaching quality. Those who are already familiar with the transformation of content into technology-based approaches have a greater starting point. And what's important is to develop an understanding of how to fit the appropriate instructional approach to the subject matter, and this really demonstrates the concept of pedagogical content knowledge. The findings of this research have important implications for the development of teaching methods, syllabi, learning materials, and in the context of this study in Iran, the Ministry of Education is responsible for developing the new courses run by universities. And it might be that this needs to take account of the studies carried out across the globe, where we see English teaching as a foreign language and also other languages. And policymakers can benefit from these results to develop appropriate courses to improve the effectiveness of EFL teaching in Iran. At the organisational level, points need to be considered for language centre managers to improve teachers' training and communication skills. There's the potential to organise short courses for in-service English teachers and run drop-in sessions. And this is based at developing teachers' efficacy and their pedagogical content knowledge. So in terms of suggestions for further research, this research opens up a new avenue for further research. This is focused just on in-service English teachers, EFL teachers' pedagogical content knowledge. Future studies could examine pre-service EFL teachers' knowledge in a comparative analysis. In fact, looking at the antecedents of effective teaching in that preparation stage and building up that confidence early on in technological knowledge, and this would need to be proven by research. The limitations of this study do require more attention. The study, the qualitative element and the quantitative, are specific to Iran. There was a limitation in the time to conduct this research and the cost, and this was partly impacted by COVID-19 and the lockdowns. Whilst the study might appear to be limited to its basis in Iran, there is a possibility to compare this to similar countries where EFL is taught and similar types of language construction. And as we say, this limitation can actually lead to new avenues for cross-country analysis and development at an international level. It could also provide a platform to bring researchers together and to widen the conceptual framework, considering issues such as culture and the learning environment. Another limitation of this study is narrowing down the research into identifying the effects of technology on teachers' education, and this is hoped in the quantitative element of this study. So one of the final suggestions for further research is, if you're interested in collaborating with the presenters and any of these suggestions, these are our contact details. The primary investigator in this study, the research student, is Zahra, and we have listed the other contact details of the supervisors here. So thank you very much for listening to our presentation.